there guys, welcome to the channel Talking with SPRINGETT. On today's video, I'm going to be giving you my top 10 favourite, not best, my personal favourite movie sequels. Obviously I'm going to go through and give mine. Don't forget to let me know yours in the comment section down below. I'd love to hear what you guys think. And don't forget, on this list, this is just my personal list, so don't take anything to offence. If I've missed any out, don't forget to let me know in the comment section as well. There is some movies which I've missed out, which I haven't seen a lot of or haven't seen at all. So the likes of Godfather Part 2, I have seen, as well as like Indiana Jones and some other movies like that really. I haven't really seen a lot of them, and there's some I haven't actually seen at all. So I actually need to catch up on some of the movie sequels, of course, and that's why they're not included in my list, of course. But without further ado, guys, let's jump straight into it. Jurassic World. Now, Jurassic World was something which was spoke about, obviously, coming from the Jurassic Park trilogy, and there was a lot of murmurs and worries about this, of course. And when I remember when it first came out, I went, we've got to go and see this. I love dinosaurs. I've pretty much watched most dinosaur movies, so I definitely had to go and watch it, and I went and watched it and absolutely loved this movie. And I really do think that the Jurassic World franchise should continue. I think they're actually very good. I don't think they're as good as the original Jurassic Park movie, the first one, but there is some goodness about these movies. They really offer something special. The whole Jurassic World feeling and aura around the movies are just great, just for people just to generally just enjoy. And obviously you've got the action-packed stuff, and not only that, you've got Chris Pratt to add to that now, really, which is a great actor to bring this franchise to life. Harry Potter, The Prisoner of Azkaban. Now, this, in my opinion, took Harry Potter franchise to a whole new level. This is where it started to get really dark, because obviously Sirius Black was really introduced into the franchise, and you find out who he is and some of the new teachers, and Harry's really going down a dark path, obviously with Voldemort being mentioned, and there's so much going on with this Harry Potter franchise. And I feel like the first couple of movies are really magical Harry Potter for kids and young teenagers, which was great. I still enjoyed. But really, when it got to Prisoner of Azkaban, it really took it to a whole new dark, supernatural, magical type world, really, with the Harry Potter franchise. And I really do enjoy it and prefer it, to be honest. The whole Harry Potter franchise really benefited from this movie, I think. And ever since after this, it got dark and actually really more storytelling-wise, rather than just a load of magic. Dawn of the Planet of the Apes. Now, obviously, hearing that the Planet of the Apes were going to be remade was another scare, just like the Jurassic World. And a lot of these things they seem to remake, and sometimes more than likely it's going to fail. But when it comes to the Planet of the Apes reboot, I really think this is the best it's been. Especially this new trilogy. I don't think they could actually have done anything better with this new trilogy. In fact, I went and actually bought the whole trilogy on DVD because I absolutely love every single one of them. The first one, obviously, with James Franco in, really introducing Caesar and obviously the bond between him and obviously James Franco's character, really obviously introducing the Planet of the Apes series well. And then obviously going into this one, Dawn of the Planet of the Apes, really obviously elevated it into a whole war aspect on how the apes are treated. And obviously you get some really class performances in there, especially from Woody Harrelson, the villain in the movie. And it's just an absolute epic movie, which is a war, and you can't help but feel sorry for these apes, and you just want them to let loose and just basically kill everybody, pretty much. It's just such a great action-packed adventure movie. Mad Max, the original trilogy, I really did enjoy, especially Mad Max 2. I really think it done well at the franchise, obviously scoring quite high with the critics, especially Rotten Tomatoes with a 95%, coming out in obviously around the 80s as well. Mel Gibson, a big star at that obviously time, but really with Mad Max Fury Road coming out and really smashing it at the park, 90% Metacritic, 97% Rotten Tomatoes, and an 8.1 from IMDb. In nowadays, around 2015, with Tom Hardy and Charlize Theron, a great cast behind it, and even making it more technically like really like wow, the graphics and everything which they put into it was just a whole different experience. It really blew me away, and this is one of the movies which actually people go ahead and say it's one of their favourite movies as of this last century, really. And it's absolutely crazy what they've done with it, especially when it comes to awards as well. This movie done really well at the box office, and it's won so many awards. Won 6 Oscars. It was nominated for 220 awards, winning 232. It's absolutely amazing, and I think they've done a great job with this cast. And another thing I want to add as well is Nicholas Hoult in this movie as well. I absolutely loved his performance. Him and Charlize Theron were my favourites, but Tom Hardy, of course, is as cool as ever. Captain America the Winter Soldier. Now, Captain America the First Avenger was a good movie. It was a good movie. It was okay, sort of good. And it wasn't nothing special. And really, for the character of Captain America, which was sort of, if you think, the Superman of the MCU at that time, really, and they really needed to boost this character, and what a way they did it with the Winter Soldier. Obviously introducing a great villain of the Winter Soldier into that movie, which was obviously found out in the storyline. He's to do with Steve Rogers, they're close, and all that sort of stuff. The storyline in general was great, the action was so much better. I think everything in terms of the character and the way they developed Captain America Steve Rogers in that movie as well, really just elevated him to a whole new level. And then not only that, after this movie done great, they really continued, and then you got obviously Captain America Civil War. Then the whole Avengers thing was announced. You got obviously Avengers Endgame, Avengers Infinity War. And Captain America as a character has become one of the most crucial roles in the MCU. And the MCU is one of the biggest, bestest franchises around right now. And Captain America obviously has only recently just got his send-off, and what an emotional one of course it was. And his presence and his memories will still live on in the MCU. He's just such a great character, and this was just such a great movie. Rocky IV. Rocky IV was amazing, of course. Obviously, you've got Dolph Lundgren in here, and the whole death of Apollo Creed. You've got, obviously, Sylvester Stallone back in the role. But even considering them doing a Rocky II in the beginning was crazy because of how well the first movie did, and the way the story ended. It felt like it was just a one movie and done. But then they brought out a number 2, a number 3, a number 4, and so on, and the franchise has become something of what's special. But Rocky IV is most people's favourite because of the way Dolph Lundgren and Rocky felt. It felt like David and Goliath, and the whole feeling and the presence behind that movie. Not only that, it's got a great storyline, of course. The directing role done a great job in that movie, of course. And I really obviously felt like Sylvester Stallone was made a babyface in this movie. He was made someone you really cared about and worried for in this movie, because it was the first time you could see physically this guy could kick his ass pretty much. And the way they made Dolph Lundgren look and feel and everything was just so great, the way they used their characters. But Rocky IV is my favourite Rocky movie for sure, and it's definitely one of the best sequels. This is going to be a bit of a controversial one because a lot of people would put this in their top 3. Now, the reason why it's 4th in my place, I want to explain quickly, is because this is a massive, massive Star Wars movie. It changed the whole Star Wars franchise and done so well. The whole storyline of I'm Your Father and Darth Vader turning and Han Solo coming in there with obviously Luke Skywalker, and everything was just so great about this movie. But really, I haven't watched the original Star Wars movies enough to really put anywhere higher, whereas the ones above this I've seen a lot more and appreciate a lot more from my younger days. It doesn't mean I don't appreciate what this movie did. It doesn't mean I don't understand why this is one of the best, because I do, I really do. But when it comes to me, my personal favourites, the ones above have to edge this. But really, this is a great movie for what it did. The whole storyline was perfect, and Star Wars from this movie has always gone on the up. It's really, and it's had a few dips, but really it's always stayed at a consistent level, which the Star Wars fan base is amazing, and support the Star Wars fan base. It's such a great franchise, and really this was a special movie. A lot of people would say, where is the Two Towers? Of course, because the Two Towers should take this spot. But really, when it comes to me and my preference, everyone's got their own favourite Lord of the Rings movie. And The Return of the King is my favourite. Now, obviously, as a teenager and as a younger person, The Two Towers was my favourite. I learned to respect that movie. It took an upstep from Fellowship of the Ring. But as of late, watching all of them again, I really learned to see what problems are in the movies and stuff. And when I look at Return of the King, I don't really see a problem with it. It's really a whole great storyline in one. I don't have any complaints of the characters, what they decide to do in that movie, the director, the actual technical side of the movie, the music, everything behind this movie is just a great movie, and really a blockbuster at that. This franchise is so special to me, and this movie is just my favourite one out of the lot. And the fact about this movie, in my own biased little way of why this is my favourite movie, is because Aragorn becomes king. Aragorn is my favourite character, and this is my favourite Lord of the Rings movie. Terminator 2 Judgment Day is a special movie, especially when it comes to the Terminator franchise. Coming from Terminator 1, which was a good movie, and it was very entertaining and stuff, and seeing obviously Arnold Schwarzenegger as the bad guy, we go into Terminator 2 with a kid and his mum obviously trying to protect him, and obviously Arnold Schwarzenegger being the hero in a way, even though he's still a robot and stuff. It is absolutely a great concept where Arnie is trying to pretty much protect this kid and this woman against obviously the bad guy, and the bad guy is excellent in here, of course. And the whole confrontation, the action in here is going to a whole new level. The technical side of the movie, really they try to test it in this movie. And everything in this movie is just absolute perfection. I really have nothing wrong with this movie. And the only reason number one beats it is just by preference, really, and how many more times I've watched it. But really, Terminator 2 changed the Terminator franchise into a whole new thing. As of late, it's obviously dipped down. I'm hoping with Dark Fate it goes back up again. But really, still a very enjoyable franchise. You see this one coming, guys. This is just preference. I've seen this movie a lot more than Terminator 2. This changed the Batman franchise as well, and in what Terminator did for that franchise, this done that for the Batman. Now, me personally, this is not my favourite Batman movie. My favourite Batman movie is Batman Begins. I could have easily put that in this list as well. But looking at it from a perspective of what the movie did for the franchise, this had to be number one. Now, a lot of people put this as their best movie or in their top 5 because of the Joker's, like obviously Heath Ledger's passing. I'm taking that out of the equation. Heath Ledger's performance was phenomenal as the Joker. It was the best performance we've seen as a Joker, of course. Obviously, Joaquin Phoenix is coming up. I'm hearing a lot of good things about his performance. I'm looking forward to seeing that, of course. But Heath Ledger's performance was phenomenal. The way he tested Batman in that movie, Christian Bale, was perfection. Seeing them two on the screen was perfection. Everything about this movie I cannot fault. The way they treat each character was perfection as well. Whereas in Terminator 2, you could pick out a couple of like minor characters and say they didn't use that character quite well. I wish they'd used it a bit better or a bit more and stuff like that. Whereas in this movie, each character had something special to play in, especially when it comes to Two-Face as well. He was a special character in the movie as well. Jim Gordon, the cops, everybody in the movie was great. And not only that, when you look at the technical side of the movie, it was phenomenal. And you got the likes of Christopher Nolan, a phenomenal director, really pushing this franchise through and really making it one of the most favourite franchises ever. And that's the Batman, one of the most loved superheroes, even though he's a dark superhero. It's absolutely amazing what they've done with this movie. The storyline was phenomenal. The action as well, I think it took an upstep from the first movie, Batman Begins. So everything really took an upstep with this movie. That's why it's at number one on my list, of course. So guys, that is my top 10 favourite, not best, but favourite movie sequels. Of course, that is my list. Don't forget to let me know yours in the comment section down below. I'd love to hear what your favourite sequels are right now, of course. And let me know if I've missed any out. Don't forget, I may have missed some out for reasons. Like I haven't seen them, or I haven't seen much of them. As I said, like Godfather Part 2, that is one especially. And some of the Indiana Jones movies and stuff like that. They're movies which I need to see a lot more of to really say which I prefer. And this is all preference, of course. That's why I want to hear yours down below in the comment section. As well as, guys, if you really enjoyed this video, please smash the thumbs up button. Helps the video out, helps me out, and helps the channel out, which I'm massively grateful, of course. And if you're new here, consider subscribing and hitting that bell for much more awesome movies and TV series content. There's been so much content coming out on the channel as of late, where I've been talking about directors, actors, actresses, film trilogies, and so much more, which I want you guys to check out on the channel, as well as the stuff coming up. I'm going to leave a poll right up here for you guys, where you can vote on what video you want next, or you can come onto my Twitter page at jspringett94. Follow me on there as well. I'm really active on there. I like to really communicate with you guys and fans in general, and movie lovers and YouTubers, everything. I love communicating with you guys and getting what you guys want on this channel, of course. So without further ado, guys, thank you very much for watching. I've been me, you've been you, and I'll see you next time, guys, on Talking with Jay Springer.